Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. Today we're going to be working on a 2009 Ford Fusion, and basically I'm going to show you how to change the headlights, but also show you how to change the blinker and parking lights all at the same time. I'm not actually changing the headlights in this video, but I'm definitely going to show you how to do it. So stay tuned. Alright everybody, so as you saw from the preview, basically the problem is the parking light slash blinker light. It's the amber colored light. This one is just burnt out. So it still blinks, which just means it's a 2-filament bulb, and the one that stays on all the time that gets the most wear, of course. Alright, first thing we're going to do is pop the hood, and we're going to pop the trunk too. That's where my tools are. Alright, so now we got our hood propped up and we're looking at this mean battle 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. First thing I always do on a unfamiliar car, or a car I've never really done this with before on, is you want to check to see how the heck we're going to do it. With this thing, it's all in the headlight assembly. So basically we just got to undo the bolts that hold the headlight assembly in, and then, you know, we'll be home free to pull out the assembly, and then you'll be able to have, you know, a lot better access than you normally would to reach all of the, you know, the electronic stuff that's, all the connectors. Having problems with my words, folks. Alright, so for the first little connector, I believe it's just 10 millimeter. I haven't even tried it yet, so we'll see. And it is. There's one. Now that one's out of there. I'm gonna go after this one. And from the looks of it, got a lot of movement. That might be all we have to undo. A little bit of a struggle getting this assembly out. Woo, doggies. Alright guys, first and foremost, I gotta tell you, I'm not usually the type of guy who needs to watch a YouTube video in order to get this done, but I do enjoy making them for other people. That being said, this was a pain in the butt. I watched a couple other YouTube videos. Their cars looked a little differently than this one does, and I'm going to show you why and how. So basically what we have here is the headlight assembly, and everything is attached to it. You've got low beam, high beam, and then the parking slash blinker. Now if you peer down in here, you'll see there's the reservoir for the windshield washer fluid. So there is no access to get up here from below, which some people have made their YouTube videos seem like, you know, that's how they did it. So I undid these two bolts, this one here, this one for the trim piece, which is, you know, basically the front end of the car here, and I popped out a little rivet thing just to allow for some wiggle room, and then that enabled me to get this headlight assembly up and out so that you can, you know, work back here. So that's a giant pain in the butt, I've got to tell you. There's no room. There's this weird bar that goes across the top. There's no room to get in behind. There's no room to get in straight down. You have to pull this thing out. Be prepared for that. I had to muscle this thing out of here. Now down to the nitty gritty. If you're changing the headlight bulb on here, which on my car is fine, you've got this little rubber dust guard that you got to take off. Set that aside, and then you've got your headlight. So basically you just kind of, you're going to push down on this side and it's going to turn and pop out. You disconnect it, you replace the bulb the same way, turn, pops back in, and that is the exact same way you would do this for high beam. This is high beam right here where my finger is, and then this bulb is the one we're actually changing, right down there where my finger's wiggling. The one on the very bottom, the hardest one to get to. So let me see if I can get that little connector off of here. So it's easy, you just turn it to the left and pop it out. Here's that pesky little turn signal slash parking light. And with these style bulbs, you just pull on the bulb to get it to pop out of here. Ta-da, like that. See, it says Wagner on this bulb. Someone told me a long time ago that Wagner is a lot of the stock, what they use from the factory. So we've got Sylvanias to replace it. Heck yeah, they're long life bulbs because I don't want to do this job again anytime soon. Take the connector, stick it back in. Snap. Put it back in its home. Here, I'll give you a quick view of its home. You can see down there where I know it's sideways, but you can see down there where the light's poking through right below my finger. That's the hole it goes into. Get it in there, give it a little twist to the right. Easier said than done, Wells. And because it was such a struggle to get it in there, we're gonna test it before we put it all back together. It's alive, just like the other one. Man, guys, I can't tell you how much of a pain in the butt that was. You see how I've got it kind of sitting? I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. If anybody knows what that easier way is, please definitely let me know in the comment section. Gonna kind of push on it and shove it back into its little hole and, you know, put everything back together. A little rivet, screw, and 2 more up there. Have fun watching me struggle, guys. Oh, we gotta put the dust cover back on. Whale on it. Alright, and just to recap, it took me like 15 minutes of struggling to get this passenger side done. It took me about 45 seconds to get the driver's side done. Just so you guys know, this is like a floppy rubber thing with a little clip, and it just pulls off, and you can reach back here. As you can see, there's lots of room, and you can change out any light you want on the driver's side, and it's super easy. Like I said, it took seconds. My driver's side, somebody already changed, which figures because it's the easy side, and they didn't do that side, and that's the one that had the old Wagner bulb in it. So, all right, just thought I would let you guys know. Thanks for watching.